you could join me today. Today, we're gonna make a painting up on the spot, like I always do, but today, I really have no idea where I'm going with this. Usually, I have somewhat a good idea on where I'm going with it, but I basically have no idea. The only thing that I decided prior to this is I wanted a black canvas. I didn't want to start with the white canvas now. Now, let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me in the same order I have them on my palette. While you're doing that, let me explain what I got done up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and I actually didn't do nothing now that I think about it. I have the oil to the side, and I have my black canvas, and I'm trying to talk more quieter in the videos. I don't want to be too loud. I realize that when I'm talking pretty loud, so I want to lower down my voice. Let's get started with today's painting. I thought today we could do a more darker painting. Usually we'll use colors like titanium white, phthalo blue, but instead of phthalo blue, I put Prussian blue, which is much more darker. And I also put a little bit of mountain mixture on the side, but rather than that, it's the same thing. Let's get started, shall we? Let's get our 2-inch brush, regular 2-inch, dip it into some medium. Oh my god, I put too much medium. So, if you get too much medium, just get off the axis and that's it. That's pretty much all you can do. So, I'm gonna pull out a little bit of Prussian blue. Just pulling it out on my brush with some medium. Now, let's come up here. And it's a black canvas, so you probably won't see any of it, just a glare. Because Prussian blue is a very dark, dark color. So it's pretty hard to see. But I thought it would suit um, a dark painting, and I've been wanting to do a dark painting. I haven't done one of those in a while. I hope with a quieter voice, or it would be a bit more relaxing, so it's not all about painting, but also so people could relax while watching my videos. Just like so. Just pulling out Prussian blue onto my brush. Just let it go. Let your brush go crazy. Let it roam around. Let it just go. Now maybe to the top, I want a little bit of mountain mixture. With that mountain mixture, I'll throw it. Oh, we'll see what it does. I don't really know yet. I've never done this. I thought we could do it tonight. Now, look at your brush. All you gotta do, beat the devil out of it. Now, I'm gonna go into a little bit of white. Don't need much. Maybe even a little bit of the blue color. Let's come up here. And I just want to pick out a nice little point of my lightest area. Rather than that, I don't want too bright. It could be a nice little night sky. Let me lower the brightness a bit. Hopefully like that you could see it better. I could see it from the side. But Just let your brush loose. Let it go. It'll give you a good old workout on your wrist. Okay, that's pretty dark. The only bad part is, due to my lighting, since it's too bright, either I go that or let me see. Yeah, no, can't really see it much. You guys just have to sort of trust me on this. But when you're painting this, you'll see how you'll see that blue color. That blue color just stands out. I actually want that to be a bit brighter. Now that I'm looking at it, boom, you see that? Just add fire. Just like so. We'll come back to the sky, but that's pretty much it. Now, we're gonna add Prussian blue again. A little bit of Prussian blue. And all I want to do is just put some blue on the base. Just some medium and some color. That's all you need. It doesn't matter how much pressure you put, as long as you have that paint in there. I think I want to extend it out to there. You put the paint where you want it to be. I think it comes down like so. Maybe a bit extra there. Maybe we could do a nice little water scene. Imagine a nice little nighttime water scene. Something like so. Now, we have all of this. All It's basically ready. So if I were to add more white, you could see it pop out more. But I don't want it too bright. I want it pretty dark, pretty subtle. Um, because if I change it too much, I think if lighting change, maybe it'll help. If I change too much, if I put too much blue or too much white, I meant to say, it's gonna become a bright painting, and I don't want a bright painting. I want a pretty toned down painting, which is bad because can't really see it on camera now that I'm looking at it. Okay, let's go. Same dirty brush, put it into some titanium white with the 2-inch. Tap it both sides to ensure even distribution in your brush. Let's come up here. And just like that, you have a waterfall. Just with a little bit of white, a little bit of patience, and a little bit of paint. I want a little bit Prussian blue, and I want to darken out the base. Let's do Prussian blue and mountain mixture. I'm mixing these colors on the brush. You can blend these colors. You don't have to have a certain color. There's no right or wrong. Just how some teachers say, you can you can basically do anything with this. Look, I'ma just tap with the corner of the brush. Maybe it's a nice misty area. And with the top corner of your brush, go in circles. Nice little circles. Maybe a little bit at the top. But look at that. It looks like nice, good old foam. And you can go back, pull some of the water looks out. And just tap on a basic, just something basic, something out there. You can blend it out. You can leave it as is. There's too many possibilities. With the black canvas, you could do so many stuff. And I'm talking about so many. Now, same dirty brush. Oof, I went right into whatever. I can work with it. Little bit of blue here and there. Wasn't what I was intending to do, but we work with mistakes. There's no such thing as the end of the world. You learn to work with the mistake. You will never have a problem with it. Now, we put some blue here. Maybe it brings out some more foam. Who knows? Who shoot, I didn't create this world. It was my imagination, and God helped me do that. Midnight black, uh, midnight black, mountain mixture, Prussian blue. I just want to darken it. It got too bright. But we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Pure mountain mixture. Let's come up. Oh, I think that's good that there's no more background lighting. But look, you can create distant little foothills, maybe that live out in the far. Maybe they're like some nice little hills that live up on there. Something like so. It's hard to see, but you'll see towards the end. You'll eventually see it. If you could see what I'm seeing right now, I believe you guys would fall in love. Okay, some blue and some yellow. That will give us a green color. And then put that into crimson. Mix until color that you're trying to achieve is required. You want to achieve a color, the color you want. I want it to the reddish side, so it would be more crimson than that green color I made up. But obviously, you can do it to whatever degree you want. I'm just mixing up my version. Need more red. Ooh, that's a bright one. Okay, let's go into a little bit of white, some of that brown color. Cut a roll. You'll get a nice little roll of paint on the edge of the knife, and just come up here. And I just wanna lightly, and I don't want too much. I just need very little to show they're there. Maybe the one without white we can put on. Oof. If you can let colors blend, you learn how to blend colors and all that. Everything just comes together. Or how to leave a color marbled. I call it marbled because it looks marbled. Now, same dirty brush I've been using into cadmium yellow. And I want some mountain mixture to darken up that greenish. Let's come up here, and you want to follow the angles. I know you probably can't see, but when you're doing this, you need to follow the angles of the lay of the land. See, dark paintings could be gorgeous paintings, but with recording them, they're not the best. Okay, now I want a little highlight, just a little highlight, just in a few spots. You can just change it up however you want it to. There's no right nor wrong. I think just like so. It's like I want it to look like there's I want it to have the appearance that there's mountain cliffs, but they're also covered in grass. And that they're mostly covered in grass. I'm just mixing up the brown so it won't be too red. I want it to be a bit more balanced. Nice balance would help right now. Tie the whole painting together. Okay, I think I found it. Some white. Okay, I like that. It helps change up things. And I'm just going back and forth. It's a back and forth thing. This these type of paintings work best when you have unlimited time. When you have time to kill. Because these look best when you're just going back and forth between colors. And there's so many colors in there, and that totally brings the whole thing together. Look how long it's taking me just because I'm messing around with the colors. I'm letting it play into um, the painting. But also, the angles is just as important as the color, because you could have wonderful, wonderful colors, but the angles are off and it throws your whole painting off. And it just doesn't look right. It doesn't suit the viewer's eye. I think like so. Now, let me move up this brown paint. Now, what I want is like a good old rocky place. So, you gotta choose where and just scratch in. I'd say just the outside layer since we have gesso, but if it's like in the center, like of the waterfall and all that, I'd suggest you let some of that come out and you do the whole rock you want. Okay? You gotta scrape out that layers though. If you're putting paint, you don't want paint. The less paint you have, the better for you. And if you have a shaky hand, it'll come into play right now. Or let it come into play, I should say. Okay, now we can go back with our brown color. First, I want some of that dark cut a raw. Let me show you guys real quick. As you can see, now let's come up here and just follow the way you want the paint to break and zero pressure. You're just letting that paint glide off. A good way to think about this is your palette knife, the metal on your palette knife. This part isn't touching the canvas at all. The only thing that's touching the canvas should be that little roll of paint on the edge of your knife. That's all that should be touching the canvas. But rather than that, nothing else. And if you put too much pressure, it'll look like little icing on the cake. And you won't be happy with me. So, I want you guys to succeed. I feel like if you guys succeed, I succeed. For the reason for that, I taught you guys well. I didn't hide anything from you guys. And you guys are, if you guys do fantastic paintings, oh, that that just shows how much you could learn online. See, with these paintings and pictures, all that matters is the perspective you get from it. It's like everyone has a different perspective on everything. Everyone sees nature a different way. Everyone sees each other in a different way. And it's just a matter of the way you look at it. Like I think painting is like could relate to real life for the reason that landscape painting is just all about, okay, it has to look this way, and so on and so on. And people look at a person a certain way. Oh, he's a bad person by the way he looks. Oh, he's a great person. He's smart. He's this and that. And people look at landscapes very differently. So I always say landscapes is almost like real life. Your real life problems, your real life situations. I'm trying to help you guys achieve the goal you guys want to get to, and help you guys get there and hold your hand the way through. Now, I'm gonna go into some white, clean brush, and just went into pure white. And I just wanna kind of bring back the look of the water. So it doesn't just disappear in there. Okay, now let's go ahead. I want to go back into that cadmium yellow and just sort of bring some of that grassy areas, like if it's dangling down. Just by tapping with the corner of your brush, you can achieve that look. Okay, now I want a little bit of that dark brown and just put it under the distance, like distant land, distant dirt holding up the land. Just something simple to give the indication so the viewer's eyes isn't disturbed. If you put land and don't put dirt, it's gonna look a little weird and the viewer's gonna say, well, what happened here? And I don't want that. Okay, I wanna sort of bring the attention here, like it's a new layer. So sort of just give it that extra highlight to push it over. Give that look. Now, let's go ahead. Let's get crazy today. I always want to get crazy in a painting. Let's go through mountain mixture. Let me get my other source of lighting. There we go. But let's come up here and just put in some dark color. Okay, just like so. Now, I don't want this to be land and connect everything. I know it might seem that way, but I do not want to do that. It's going to cadmium yellow. This is where I like to do bushes because there's contrast compared to if it's an all green, like how I usually do it. Then there's no contrast and it just blends in. You want contrast. So all I'm doing is popping in a nice bush in there. And then just like so, putting in a little dirt. Hopefully I'm not covering the camera. Little dirt. I might look weird right now. Hopefully it's zoomed in. I probably will zoom it in. And then little highlight. And you can scratch in a few little sticks, twigs, whatever you think lives and goes on. You own this world. You create this world. You gotta give it its story. Okay, so going back to the water, look, you can do so many things with this. You can cover it here. And look, I'm gonna beat off the excess, but you can actually blend it just with the corner of the brush. I blend too much. The brush skipped extra and went over. But that's okay. Look, you learn to work with mistakes. Cover it up a bit. That's sort of a reflection. Pop it in. Who said it was an accident? Now, going back, I can just go like so. And it already creates so much uh, depth in the painting. And let's get crazy. We're gonna put some fresh and blue here, but very light amount. And going back into some white, and I want to leave those some of those brush strokes. And you can go into some more white. Just tap it, and they'll create like if there's water coming out. You just need very little effect, just very little. Let me look at it from a distance to see where I'm at with it. Okay, I think I know where I'm going with it. I'm gonna add a bit more white, and let's come up here. I want to cover it up here a bit more. There we go. And you can do this for everything. There's no limitations. Don't hold yourself back. And maybe let's go back to mountain mixture, and maybe there's some land, and it comes down like so. Yeah, I think that's good. Now, just gracefully with the light pressure, just pull down lightly. Lightly pull down. Now, just pull with some highlight color, just a little highlight. And let's highlight that land area. And just tap it. Now, again, I can go back and just play with the imagery of this. There's no limitations. Now, I'd be lying to you if I said that I was done with this painting. There's one more thing I gotta do. So I'm gonna put my palette on my table. You guys seen my table before in a couple of videos. I'm gonna get a fan brush and I'm gonna dip that fan brush into some medium and I'm gonna go into some white and thin out that white with some medium. There we go. And I'm gonna put my palette to the side. Oh god, there we go. Let me clean my knife. I don't want to pollute anything. But look, just flick, just flick a few little things. It's just flicking a few little stars. Think it needs a bit more medium. You want it to be as thin as ink because when it's thin as ink, it'll come right off the brush. Just like so. And maybe leave a little bit of improvise, bringing out just a bit. But I think that's it for today. It was a wonderful painting and a fun painting because I haven't done a dark painting in a while now. You guys will be able to see the photo soon, but you guys know what colors I used and everything, so you could recreate it. The only thing that's hard to see was the mountains and the sky. The rest you could see it. But I'd like to thank you for joining me today in today's painting. I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, my friend.